Welcome to Get It with Al, where we decode the future of marketing at the intersection of Web3 and AI. I'm your host, Al, and each episode I sit down with innovators who are redefining how we build, grow, and engage in the decentralized space. Whether you're seasoned Web3 marketers or just a crypto curious, you'll walk away with actionable insight and fresh perspectives. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Well, thank you for joining me for this podcast. First, introduce yourself and how you got started in the whole Web3 game.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me out. I'm Josh. I'm the founder of LocalSolana. We are a decentralized P2P exchange where users can connect with each other and trade between crypto and fiat directly from their wallet. So you can think of it like a decentralized version of Binance P2P, or I guess local Bitcoins back in the day, hence the name. My background, I got started in crypto in 2017. Building and hacking on a few things, as well as investing in Bitcoin and Ethereum. That kind of continued throughout that bear market. And then in 2021, left my Web2 job to go full-time crypto, originally on a self-custody wallet called Mickey, where we're focusing on savings and remittances in emerging markets, mostly in Latam, like Brazil, Colombia, Venezuela, and these countries, but we also had users kind of through Africa, some in the Middle East, and in India as well, essentially wherever stablecoins are solving a big problem. During that process, we really just saw how broken the on-ramp problem or the on-ramp situation was for a lot of self-custodial products or on-chain products that were trying to on-ramp users in these markets. While MoonPay and all the other solutions worked really well in Western markets like the US and Europe, they just didn't work in the markets we were trying to target. And we realized, a better solution was needed, and this was kind of a better infrastructure play. So from there, we launched OpenPeer, which is our EVM exchange. It's been going for about a year, and LocalSolana is launching this month as well.
All right. So you've been focusing on emerging market for several years already, right?
Yeah, so I guess it's been since 2022, essentially. Yeah, late 2021, 2022. Throughout Latam, Africa, India are probably the main markets we focused on since then.
All right. Can you tell us why you're focusing on those types of market?
Yeah, to be honest, like when we first launched our wallet in 2021, I really just wanted to build a good product, a good wallet for myself. I was, very heavy DeFi user. I was using stablecoins a lot, earning yield on it. Also wanted to kind of use them every day, but that was extremely hard with the wallets that were available at the time. And I wanted something that was just as easy to use as, I guess, Revolut is probably the most popular one in Europe, or something like Venmo in the US. You have all these neobanks globally, but no wallet really did that for stablecoins. They're all focused around crypto trading, and generally around ETH as the base asset. Whereas I wanted something where I could use stablecoins for savings or for earning yields, invest in a few things with my stablecoins, and then maybe spend my stablecoins as well.
Mhm.
And then really using USDC or USDT as a base asset. Uh, I guess I was living in Australia at the time. I was probably the only one in Australia that actually wanted a product like this, or I guess a very small niche of people. But my co-founder at the time was Brazilian, so we had the app localized into Portuguese, Brazilian, Brazilian, Portuguese, and Spanish as well. And these were where all our early users were coming from, because we were doing all the marketing we were doing in English, we were also doing there. And then we had all our, I guess, SEO, all our ad targeting focused on, stablecoin usage. And still today, like we still have the website up for the wallet, but it's directing to Zengo, which we had an acquisition, which acquired Minky. But even then, like all the traffic is coming from people that want to buy stable coins in these markets. So it just kind of happened by chance, to be honest. The people that were most like me actually weren't in the same country as me.
All right. So yeah, that's like interesting to see like uh, the emerging market. They're like interested in stable coin, so differ from like the predominant Western type of uh, Web3 project. Like we see like with all the meme coins and trading.
Yeah, I don't think that's so much the case. I think they still want to use all those products that we're using in Western countries.
Mm-hmm.
I would still say 70% of the use case for crypto or more in these markets is still speculation, just like it is in the West. So meme coins, AI coins, which are pretty much just meme coins,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is, NFTs too, DeFi. But what you do have at the same time is, I guess, crypto being used for, I'm not sure what the word is, maybe a day-to-day or technical use as money, just because people have seen it. It's just a better option than using the local banking systems for savings and remittances in these countries. So yeah, whereas that use case is there in the West, people aren't really, I would say, adopting it in mass because yeah, you have smart contract risk and all of these things, which maybe like if it's actually just savings for you, you're pretty much happy putting it in a like a high yield savings account or putting it into T-bills and getting that, yeah, I guess not 5% anymore, but yeah, that 3 to 5%. Whereas if you're in, let's say, Lebanon, and you actually have to worry about your bank locking you out of your money, or in another country where your bank might actually shut down, then that smart contract risk doesn't sound so bad, and you're willing to kind of use DeFi savings products and yeah, stable coins for remittances and all that too.
All right. So so you were talking a little bit about how you went about marketing for those markets. So you say you're like um translating in I guess you call it Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. That's right. Did you
Yeah,
do
Brazilian.
other like yeah?
Yeah, Brazilian, Portuguese, and Spanish. That was for our wallet at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at least for our P2P exchanges, we're predominantly focusing on African markets where, yeah, English is the lingua franca, or the de facto business language.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like Nigeria. But as we do focus on other markets in the future, especially like Venezuela is a market that we're looking at for local Solana, then you just have to translate your product into Spanish or whatever the local language is in the country you're targeting. Otherwise, it's next to impossible to actually build a growing user base.
Okay. So besides like translating, do you do like other things to adapt for the market or?
Yeah, I think you have to approach it differently. It's common that I think a lot of people think, oh, everyone's just following the same people as me on Twitter, or everybody's just in the same communities as me. That just isn't the case. People have different, I guess, like wallet balance or net worth, so that they're in communities that are kind of within these net worths as well. You also have very localized influencer communities too, depending on the country. And then you also have like very big, I would say, in-person element as well, because I would say the level of scams and bad actors in these countries is probably, from a percentage basis, is probably higher. So there is this level, or there's this factor that you need to kind of break down that trust barrier. And doing in-person events helps a lot. So being able to partner with the right communities on the ground to reach your target audience is super important. For local Solana, we've partnered with Solana All Stars. They do about 100 meetups every month across Nigeria, Venezuela, Turkey, and Argentina and Egypt soon as well too. I think they've had over 50,000 people attend their meetups, and essentially they're kind of the leading Solana meetup in most of the countries they operate in. So we've kind of been their preferred on-ramp partner there. But it's been essential for kind of building our early community, getting those first users, and really making sure that we're targeting the right people, because we're a small team. And yeah, we do have some people on the ground, but these are big countries, and you can only go, physically go so much or so far with a small team. So you really have to try to find the right community partners that can kind of be like almost like an agency for you or an extension of your marketing team that can help you reach the right people and make sure you're breaking down those trust barriers with them.
Yeah, because otherwise, yeah, I think it'd be like hard to find like the right, I guess, Twitter influencer in Nigeria. Since you're not, from the area, it's hard to really immerse yourself in it, right?
Yeah, you can find there's some of the bigger ones, of course, that you can use, but you have a lot of, especially in a bull market, you have a lot of people trying to target them or use them to target their customer. So then the costs on those get pretty prohibitive, and really, I would say you don't get much for your money. So what you really want to do is then kind of partner with local community leaders or smaller influencers who have their own, let's say, maybe even 100 or I'd say 100 people to 5,000 people communities. And there you get a lot more bang for your buck. And yeah, you get a lot more impact as well because um, people, you don't really have, whereas it's someone with like 100,000 or 200,000 followers, people are pretty smart. They know that this is kind of a shill. If they're doing it as a promotional product, they're getting paid for it. Whereas even if they're getting paid from a much smaller influencers, a lot of people might not actually realize that. And those messages tend to be a bit more impactful.
Hmm. Yeah, now people they know like influencers get paid, and I guess they're like more aware of what's going on behind the scene, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So for your new product, you have like a specific strategy.
Yeah, so what we've done, I guess, with this product compared to like the EVM product, one, it's focusing very much on a chain that is popular in these countries.
Hmm.
With our EVM product, we support Polygon, BSC, Ethereum, and kind of all the L2s. But when you're supporting every L2, it's kind of hard to get support from any L2 because you're just kind of this multi-chain product. And still today, people are kind of like trying to use products on a certain chain. So what we've done with LocalSolana is focus very much on Solana and try to ride those coattails off Solana's growth as well. Especially in a market like Nigeria, Solana has been growing like crazy. Like I said, we've been in these markets now for 3 years, and we kind of saw that run up last cycle of BSC winning a lot of the market at a pretty breakneck speed, given that it was backed by Binance, and Binance has so many resources that they invest in these markets. But Solana, without even much effort, of course, you have Solana All Stars and you have super teams in these countries as well. But with seemingly less resources, has gone actually, kind of exceeded what BNB has done, at least in terms of growth rate. Just for example, I think Castle Island did a report a few months ago, kind of surveying people in Nigeria and asking them what crypto products they use, why are they using crypto, and I believe it was 41% had used Phantom Wallet, which is just crazy because Solana. If you actually, when we were first started building our products, I had a few friends on the ground there, and I'd worked with a few people, and I was a very big fan of Solana myself. Was moving a lot of my ETH into Solana when Solana was kind of in that sub 20 range because it just seemed so undervalued. And I liked a lot of the products on Solana from the UX perspective. And I'd ask people on the ground there, like, what do you think about Solana? Do you think people would actually use the product on Solana? And most people just laughed and said, yeah, maybe if you really want to, go do it, but nobody's going to use it. So then we went and built an EVM exchange. But now, fast forward kind of 12 to 18 months later, everybody is asking for Solana. So yeah, I guess our strategy is to kind of pick that growing chain. And I wish we picked it much earlier because then the product would have been out much earlier. But yeah, I guess we're rectifying our mistake there now. But it's very hard to predict the future and to see that this meme coin phase would have taken off so much there. And I guess another thing is just partner with through that, because we have a chain partnership, is being able to really partner with all those on the ground communities. So we have a very deep partnership with Solana All Stars, where we are getting presented at, I think it's like 50 meetups a month almost, as a way for new users to onboard on Solana. So through their wallet partnership, I believe they have with Soulflare, they're those new people that are attending these meetups. They learn how to download the Soulflare wallet on their phone, and then they need to go buy their first Solana. So then we're the option that they can see and they get taught about is like, hey, okay, how do you use local Solana? How do you trade P2P safely? And yeah, having an on the ground partner like that, that is also growing very quickly, has helped a lot in terms of growing this product compared to our past products.
Okay, so they do like around 50 meetups a month. It's
yeah, I think it's 50 or more across quite a few countries, but so I think it's Nigeria, Turkey, Venezuela, Argentina, and Egypt, and I think a few other countries are
okay.
soon as well too.
Is it like physical meetups or is this like online?
Yeah, they're physical meetups.
Okay.
I think they maybe host some online ones, but they're mostly physical ones.
Okay. So I guess doing the whole physical thing still works, right? It's like Eat back in the days, like when they were doing lots of meetups as well.
I think so, especially to get your early users. Even I'm here in Portugal, and I attend a lot of meetups. Portugal is kind of one of these crypto hubs in Europe, and we get a lot of users from them just by meeting people in person and telling them what you do. Especially as an early stage product, you have to kind of do that on the ground hustle wherever you are, or try to find someone that can do it for you, because it's like if you don't have that early network yourself, or maybe from a past product or what you've been doing on crypto Twitter, you just have to kind of show up in person and get those users.
It's like you go get them one by one, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I guess with any crypto products, there is that network effect, right? So and it also does help from a user feedback perspective as well, being able to build these kind of in-person relationships with users, whether it be through a partner or like an employee or yourself. Because if something's wrong with your product or there needs to be improvements, they'll just tell you. Where if it's just somebody that signed up from your website and they don't like your product, they're probably not going to feel too comfortable or even motivated to tell you, hey, your product sucks. Whereas if somebody at a meetup you've showed your product and they've tried it for the first time, and then they'll probably tell you like, hey, this thing's not so good, this is what I'd like to actually see or use.
Yeah, you can even just like see their face, like if they're like confused or like excited or whatever, like you get like instantaneous feedback.
Exactly, and you learn, and people will tell you straight up to your face that, hey, I don't understand what you're doing. So it's a great way to perfect your elevator pitch.
Yeah. And then also see the user experience, right?
Exactly. You can see it in real time, how people are doing things. Even the user testing online, which I think every company should do with some users, but sourcing those people, making sure you pick the right ones that are actually motivated to help you versus just earning a few dollars is quite hard. Whereas at a meetup, you are for sure targeting the right user, And yeah, you can see that, yeah, that UX feedback in real time, which helps so much.
All right. Since also we talked a little bit before, you mentioned you're doing Monday meme coins, like doing recap. So, um, what insight do you have gained from those content, and how does it resonate in different markets as well?
Yeah, so we've been running a meme weekly, like Solana Meme Monday now for, I guess it's almost been 4 months. Really, we see ourselves as uh, an exchange. We're not a full exchange where people can buy different coins, but we are that entry point where a user wants to buy crypto, and for users in the markets we focus on, they need to go through a P2P exchange. So part of our job is actually motivating people to buy crypto, and that's, I guess, a lot of the thesis of why we run this space, and also just to kind of help those people that are new to get into crypto, because really, um, the like I said before, the biggest driver is speculation, and investing in meme coins, I would say, well, it might seem easier than investing, let's say, in utility tokens or anything in past cycles. I would actually say for a new user, it's who hasn't done it before, it's probably more difficult just given the speed that it evolves at. So yeah, we run this weekly space so we can kind of talk about what are the narratives that are changing, what's the current meta, and it's built. I think we usually have somewhere between 50 to 100 people come on. Most of them are regular attendees, and we invite people to come up and talk as well and give their thoughts and ask us questions. Which, yeah, so we can kind of be that community where they feel like, hey, yeah, this is where I come to buy crypto, and this is where I come to talk about crypto. And yeah, from a geographic perspective, I think something that people get wrong when they target a lot of many emerging markets, especially with a stablecoin focused product, which is, I guess, a lot of our volumes, is they think that everybody just wants to hear about stablecoins, how stablecoins have better fees, and yeah, they're better products in the banking system. I don't think that marketing really needs to be done. People really understand that anyways. And the product that does most of that for them is Binance, and Binance is really doing none of this marketing either, right? What they're doing is getting people in through the speculation side of things, and then people use Binance for all this other stuff as well. And if you really want to kind of dig into the psychology into these markets, the wallet balances of someone in Nigeria are generally much lower than they'll be for someone in Europe or someone in the US. And to just tell them, hey, go invest in Bitcoin or DCA into Bitcoin and just hold that for a few years, it's really not going to make much of a difference to them, to be honest. They want to 10x their money, 100x their money, even though that might not be unachievable. But they are looking for that moonshot. And yeah, actually, speculation. What we should have seen when the whole meme coin phase kicked off is that would actually do so well in these markets, because this is what people are looking for there. When we were building our wallet, we would look at actually what people were investing in the wallet, and we always found these very obscure. They weren't meme coins back then; they were just shit coins. And we would interview some of these users and ask them why are you investing in this? We've never even heard of this coin. And they would usually find the coin from a local community or a local influencer that was generally focused on this region or started in this region. And yeah, they were just hoping for a 2x that within a few days or within a few weeks that they could quickly flip into another meme coin, or yeah, into another shit coin. And yeah, this moonshot is just so important in these markets, and I think it should be the core of any marketing strategy, regardless of what you build. Um, Especially if it has a crypto aspect. If it's purely like I don't know, a remittance product, and I think you maybe should even just take out the crypto from that, right? But that only has those products can still be big, but I don't know how big the TAM is. But for us, we're trying to be the entry point into stablecoins, into crypto, and we want to capture not just the remittance part and not just the savings part, but actually also all of that speculation part as well, because that is still the vast bulk of the market, or the vast majority of the market.
Okay, so you're going from like meme coin, because as you said, like stablecoin, they already understand the concept, so you don't need to like educate them about it. You just talk about the next meme coin and they're happy with that, right?
Yeah, I don't think you need to, you still need to educate people. You still have to have good docs. You still need to be creating content. And your product needs to explain things well when it comes to stablecoins, if you have the stablecoin aspect in your product. But the marketing behind, stablecoins are so much better than your bank. It's just so much better than your local currency. We've tried it, to be honest, and it's just not very effective. Whereas you can still offer those things, but talk more about the hype, right? And the speculation side of it, because that is bringing so many more users that all these users that are coming from the speculation side still need to use stablecoins for their day-to-day life, right? So you can just grow a product so much quicker, I think, from playing towards this aspect of the market versus just talking about stablecoins all the time.
For like your product, have you started looking at the usage? Like, do you see people using like meme coin and stablecoin? Like, can you?
Yeah, so from the Solana product, we've seen some usage. We haven't dug too deep into what people are doing afterwards. I think a lot of it is just people buying Solana for the first time, or people buying USDT, but we haven't actually looked at what they're doing next. From the EVM product, actually, though, I guess what really helped us gain conviction to go pivot and start building a Solana product was people going and just bridging their funds from Polygon to Solana, usually through Li-Fi, which is the built-in bridge within Phantom Wallet. So that was a big thing that they were doing. Most were just buying Solana or Solana tokens. I wouldn't say specifically meme coins, but the reality is that for that on-chain user that we're trying to target, we're trying to be that entry point for the on-chain user. That so much of that market right now is on Solana. Every new AI agent coin, I'd say 90% of them are launching on Solana these days. If you even a lot of people would ask us, I remember a few months ago, if they got some USDT or USDC on Polygon and said, hey, what can I actually do on Polygon? It'd be very hard for us to give an exciting answer or even a truthful answer, right? Because there's not really any tokens to buy on Polygon outside the major tokens, and maybe Pol or what used to be Matic. And in terms of DeFi opportunities, there's not much there either. Whereas on Solana, there's so much opportunity for people that are, trying to make money. And I think there still are opportunities on the EVM. I think there's a ton of activity on Base. Still, I think some more hardcore DeFi stuff is on Arbitrum as well. But a lot of these L2s, those opportunities really just aren't there for, I'd say, the average retail user.
Right. So yeah, you also mentioned AI agent. So what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's hard to say right now. I think a lot of the tokens that are out there are essentially just meme coins for these AI agents. I do think that there is a lot of opportunity, and that it may be kind of the prevailing meta for the rest of the cycle, kind of like NFTs were the prevailing meta to the end of last cycle as well. How I'm approaching it personally is just kind of betting on the shovels during the gold rush, a sense. So things like virtuals, I guess AI16Z is kind of like that as well. So rather than kind of the individual tokens behind these AI agents, is kind of just betting on the platforms, which, you might not get that 100x, but I think, there's still tons of opportunity there. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how any of this even results in value driven towards token holders. But to be honest, I think some of these questions aren't the right questions to ask in a bull market, and you should just aim first and consider all that later.
And in terms of like marketing, do you see like any pointers of like AI agent and marketing, or like have you seen anything interesting going on there?
Yeah, I've seen a few things. So using Eliza OS, even we've played around a little bit with creating like a customer support or kind of a chat bot within Telegram, I believe, where it's actually kind of been trained on my previous messages and how I've talked about things. And yeah, it's actually quite impressive, I would say, from what we've built there so far. So I think from a customer support and like a entry point from in regards to the user and your brand, that can be pretty cool. Even just running some of these intern accounts or kind of like the Twitter post agents, I would say, that you, I guess, similar to kind of Cerebro or Teehee and these things, but just running one from your brand. I think Top Hat is a cool product that's launched where, you can kind of launch these agents for that. I believe like the Retardio team has kind of like a Retardio intern that's built on this protocol as well. So that could be a fun thing. But I think you probably have to have somebody. You don't have to be too skilled, and I think a lot of this will get solved with no code options. But you have, so it's probably not even from an engineering perspective, but you just have to still have that crypto native talent that is able to train these agents, whether it be a chatbot agent or a Twitter agent, so it can talk in the right way, interact with the right things. Because even now, I try to follow quite a few of them just so I can kind of understand the meta. And at the start, when I was following a few, I thought, haha, these are kind of funny, and they're kind of witty. But then what now? I'd say maybe 3 months later, it's hard to get a concept of time with how quick things move. But I would say most of the replies I see are completely out of context, and to be honest, it's seemingly a bit annoying as well. And if I was getting replies from these AI agents, I would be pretty annoyed. So I think you just have to have the right team. Again, you still need a crypto native marketing person on your team that's able to kind of execute these uh, technologies and tools to make them useful for your company or brand.
Yeah, because as you say, if they answer out of context or they're just annoying, I don't know if people start unfollow or like stop interacting. Or it's just bots.
Exactly. Yeah, I think someone outside of crypto was describing it how they look at the AI to help them work, and really, it's almost just like having a very junior employee that can work at 100x your speed. So you still need that senior employee to give them context and understand things and really drive the effort forward. But in terms of I'd say the volume of impact, that can be 10x, 100x with having one of these agents behind that person.
All right. So I think you mentioned you're gonna launch pretty soon. Do you have any specific plan for the marketing on that?
Uh, Yeah, I guess we've been building it up over the past few months. But I think we would have launched a couple months ago. So, we've been doing these in-person meetups. We've grown our community. I think we have close to 3,000 followers now on Twitter. Our Discord, I believe, and Telegram is in the thousands, I believe, too, and very engaged users and the engagement. We've gotten a lot of engagement on both platforms as well. We've also launched an ambassador program as well, where people in our target countries are able to come and contribute, whether it be content or user testing, all these different things, earn small bounties and go, share the product to their audience. So all that stuff has been cooking for the past few months. And now, to be honest, it's at a point now where we've already built the audience. Of course, it can still grow a lot more. But so now it's launched the product. We've got some, I guess, retweets or follow-on announcements planned from some pretty big Twitter accounts from there that will amplify the message. And from there, I'm hoping the the public beta is pretty bug-free, and then we're off to the races from there.
All right, so that's pretty good. I think we pretty much like went around all the question about marketing. Just for the ending, do you have like some resources or like tools to use regularly for marketings you can share with the audience?
I think some analytics tools are good once you actually have your product live. I believe it's Arc Analytics that we use on our AVM product. So you can kind of see some wallet data of where from like what channels, I guess like what channels and what campaigns and what is actually kind of the end result that you're driving towards your product. You really do need like crypto native tools here. It's hard to use just regular Web 2 tools unless you really have, I would say, you're great at running scripts and kind of building in all these dashboards out yourself. Cookie 3, I know, is another tool that a lot of people are using for marketing analytics as well. And I believe they've launched Solana support too. And then from there, it just comes down to, just the regular marketing tools to help manage your teams internally, whether that's Notion boards or calendars, Trello boards, etc. And then just good old Twitter and Telegram.
All right. Talking about Twitter and Telegram, where can we find you? Like if you want to follow.
So our Twitter is for LocalSolana, it's x.localsolana, and then my personal one is 0x JRey, which is my pseudonym online. And then Telegram, you can join our Telegram community as well, which would just be t.me/LocalSolana. And join the community, and then localsolana.com. I'm assume once this podcast is live, you'll be able to come trade P2P. So if you're in a country where P2P is the default way that you on and off ramp, come give us a try.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and for all your great insight, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, Al. Pleasure being here.
Well, thanks. That was pretty interesting. There's a lot of great insight and different aspect of crypto. We don't talk that much, I guess. I mean, I haven't heard that much on emerging market and all that, so that's pretty cool.
Awesome. Glad you found it interesting.
Do you have like you talk about the Solana analytics, from Nigeria with all the stats? Like, it'd be cool also to have the links to share with the info.
I think let me I'll find it. I'll send it to you on Telegram. I think it's in one of my old tweets. I retweeted it, so I'll send you the report from there.
Yeah, so that'd be a good, to have it in there as well.
Yeah,
people can check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks again for your time, and we'll keep in touch on Telegram. I'll let you know when I'm done, cleaning it and organizing the sound and all that.
Sounds good. And when it's live, just send us some links and then we'll push it from our side as well on both my account and the company one.
All right, thanks. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, Alicia.
Bye.
Bye.